Hi everyone, we just went from 36 to 37 on the clock, which was very significant. Today is New Year's Eve and Happy New Year's to all of you guys. Hope you guys have fun things to do tonight. And we're going from the 36 to the 37 on the clock with the 236 to 37, because we're leaving the Atlas energy with the 35 of the Wounded Warrior and leaving the Wounded Warrior behind into the new year of that 37, that Ace, or that King of Cups rather, of unconditional love. So very significant as far as the numbers as we're starting this read. And I'm so excited to bring you, I have two Metatron reads. The one I did this morning, intense, you must listen to that. If you can't watch the whole video, which I certainly understand because it's long, watch the two Metatron reads today. The one from today was amazing, and so was the one from yesterday. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for Metatron. And then I also have a union read and a twin flame read, which are on the table, and we're going to roll the dice as well. Go ahead and take your deep breaths on your own. And Om is definitely coming up as significant today as well. The A-O-M and then space between. Om. Remember, that's the energy of home. And let's see what the dice have for you today, this December 31st, 2021 for the Twin Flames. We have Leo energy, which is also regarding the sun. We have Venus, which is also Taurus and Libra. And then we have the number 12, which is the month we're leaving behind today, the 12 of Capricorn. And also the Hangman, which can be Pisces as well, which is the end of that cycle. The end of the astrological cycle as opposed to the end of the year, the calendar cycle, which is Capricorn. So we have Venus of Taurus and Libra, Pisces and Capricorn also coming up, and then Leo, the sun. I'm very much getting the energy of shining your light, staying in your heart, and hanging out and being wise tonight. That's Happy New Year's from Spirit. And so this first message was the Metatron message I just finished a little while ago, and boy, is it crazy good. So this is the message. This is the cards. And I started this read at 11:14, which is the 11 of justice, truth and balance, and 14 of that higher love of the angelic realms, the temperance card, being patient and balanced, taking one step at a time off that beaten path into that higher love. The underlying energy was green, the green card of the emerald with 39, which is the Knight of Cups, and then the blue energies of the 29 being present in the moment with your gifts, and the first card underneath the bottom card was creation. And then the green and blue were beneath creation. And creation is like the collective energy of the world. It's also the number 3 of Gaia, of Mother Earth and creation, the mother, and the green and blue are the colors of the earth. And the first card out was the Akashic Records of the 12. Again, hang out and be wise. That's another message from Spirit. So the way this message came out, first the colors, green and blue, as I just said, but also we had red, gold, and white. The root chakra came up a lot in this read, as well as the gold of the unity consciousness and the white of the purity of consciousness, which are both those, that gold and white light of the Christ consciousness and that energy. So going from the root, right, to the top, and the green and blue in between of the heart and the throat to indigo blue chakra energies of the throat and the third eye. Let's see if there were any elements that came up too. I don't remember if there were. Nope, no elements came up today. So it's very much about the colors, the rainbow, the void, and the collective awakening here, and the mother. The mother is very significant here. The winter, green, blue, and feathers, because that comes in up in that card of letting go from the fall to the winter. The winter of green, blue, and feathers. The heart healing of that emerald green, and the mother's love of that comforting blue, the Knight of Cups of being love and being present with your gifts on Gaia's collective awakening, full of colors, held in emerald green and the deep blue, expanding your life on this earth, becoming Terra Gaia. So I started 1125 here, which is Justice again, and the 25 of the Knight of Wands, to review the Akashic records, to see new perspectives, hanging out and being wise, and to receive the light and the sun, allowing the shadow behind you as the face the sun, the shadow behind, remember the mother's over the left shoulder, to hold you from behind, right? The dark mother, the tough love, expanding in chaos or birth, and the pursuit of happiness, and the dark night in the releasing of that which no longer serves you, just as the north and south nodes. Archangel Sandalphon here, and his nickname is Sand, like at the beach where the land meets the sea, and the archangel here, which is also the two A's, like the M but with a line through it, is like reminding you of where the land meets the sea and the horizon, with music and good cheer on the fool's journey, with you of open heart and a quantum leap of faith. We're leaving this year of the wounded warrior, Kundalini energy that's been stuck in your body, as the cosmos reflects you in any last judgment you have of yourself in this wake-up call of allowing and letting be and setting free. Again, this is the reference to resisting an attachment, the negative aspects, allowing and let be or setting free, or live and let live, birth and die. Allow others to live their own lives in chaos and dark night, or closer to the center stage of going within, in the spotlight at 11:33 to 34, which is that Christ energy, and the 34 of the energetic exchange and arrows of love, that quantum leap across the 11 and the 33, which are both power numbers, by the way, of justice and alignment, and of standing up for oneself without being triggered in that unity consciousness. Be allowing yourself to be in the middle, to be the spotlight and shine your light with authentic musings and contemplations. From the King of Wands, or excuse me, not the King of Wands, but he does come up here too. From that Kundalini energy that's stuck, that's helping you release all that negative energy from your being into the cosmos, on the path to the light, from the wounded warrior's path that we start as a human, we start out that way, to the fool's journey, an enlightened being, with the monk's key off the beaten path, through the arcs or arches and steeples, the bridges and the castles in the sky, starting off soft, slow, and rounded or shaped like that feminine energy, and the becoming of the steepled, the triangular, the change, the boundless and yet boundaries, the shaped bushes and trees that direct you with a point that points you. The triangle is an arrow pointing up, showing you the right direction, which is up, with the rose line in your heart. And then the Star of Bethlehem was coming up there too, which is funny because in Pennsylvania there is a Bethlehem, and then PA comes up as the Father. The Star of Bethlehem, the Father of birth and death, that they're all the same, or happening all at the same time. The PA or Pa of the Father and Son letting go. So this was again coming up yesterday, the Father and Son energy of the Father letting the Son go and not trying to control the Son anymore, and the Son able to be held by the Mother's loving arms at the same time. Right? There's always that energy to catch you, and it doesn't mean a codependent relationship. It means knowing the Mother's loving arms are always there to catch you. And you can detach yourself from the Father. You don't need their help anymore. You got this. It's your independence. So again, it's the masculine and feminine within each one of you. So then at 11:46 with Justice and the Six of Cups. So with the rose line into your heart, remember the fourth finger of the ring finger to the fourth chakra of the heart, held in the aqua gold of the Mother's love and the Christ love as well. The ring bringing forth, the ring bearer bringing forth, again there's that four, all galactic ancestors from the cosmos mirroring in the sunset, the sun's set, right? So that can be the sun that's bright in the sky, but also the Father and the Son. The sun's set, and to heart, to the root, and to the electromagnetic grid. All together now. There's no Squid Games here. There's 3 groups here coming up. The Rose Line, the Shaman, and the karmic electromagnetic grid, untying the knots of the twins, which, by the way, comes up as the part of the definition of the quantum energy, to untying the knot of the twins with the Schumann resonance, okay? So the 3 groups being the Rose Line, right? So the initial, the Emerald Order, basically, the Rose Line, the Shaman, the original natives to this earth, and then the karmic electromagnetic grid, which also contain, and Nat's here, by the way, you're unforgettable. Unforgettable, that's what you are. And so you are is coming up too, because that came up in my read, which I don't want to tell you what that is now. The coding was incredible in this read. So the 3 groups are coming up as the Rose Line, the Shaman, so the original Emerald Order, the Shaman of the original Earthling, and the karmic electromagnetic grid of all of your galactic family, basically, and helping you to untie the knots of the twins. And again, that has to do with right, the rest of the humans basically being the mutts of galactic combinations of human and galactic breeds. The Schumann resonance then coming up, untying the knots of the twins with the Schumann resonance. And then what was coming up is the she and the sha and the shu, and there was man. A-E-I-O-U. Sha, she, shai, sho, and shu. So this was very significant. I love these journeys they take me through. So first the Sha. The Sha. The Sha is the rolling stone because it's that letter that looks like a W but squared, which also in Hebrew is a U with a little u attached to the inside, just like a womb and then a baby being attached to the womb. So that is this W of the rolling stone, which becomes the E and the M and the 3. The rolling stone is the Shah, to drink, and the king of Persia, the young, fresh, new, to burn on fire, evaporate, and dry up. So I'm not going to give you all the definitions, but I'm going to give you the summary of what this came out to be because it was very cool. And by the way, SH by itself means to be. It's the sine wave to infinitum, the S with the cap on top. And also the numbers 27 and 10 came up significant to this read and the meanings here, but also very much the 10 and the 0 energy and the 1 were very, very much coming up through all of these definitions. So the Shah here is the gift. Because remember, if you put the squared W with the E and the M and the 3 together, it becomes a present. A square with a line or a cross up and down and side to side becomes a gift, like a gift wrapped. And then the ash or the AE mushed together is like the bow on top. And ash in Pleiadian is bright light, the bow on top, the topping, the frosting. So the Shah is the rolling stone, the present, your gifts, with the ash or the icing on top, the gift of bright light, the gift of the original human king, the gift of the rolling stone, the young king who drinks and burns through everything, the part of the earth, the salt of the earth, the rolling stone. So that's the Shah. Then the she comes up as the Ed, E-D. And you know I talk about Mr. Ed and the God energy of Ed, but also E-D is extra dimensional. She is the Ed, the extra dimensional horse who talks, the finger of God who points into, who creates, who puts his finger down and becomes your chakra system. She is that Ed, an unending stream, the key to this one here, the term of endearment, dear one, and then the no number becomes the number 0 of 10. That high vibration of the 1-0 trill, that vibration that you are now that you have the chakra system in place. So it's coming up as the shaman being the original human without a chakra system, they didn't need it because they were so connected to source already in their knowing, they hadn't forgotten. They were very connected and one with the earth and understanding of that. So they didn't have that chakra system activated. The shaman's coming up as the original human king, the gift of the rolling stone, the young king who drinks and is merry, that burns through everything, the salt of the earth, the rolling stone. She then is the Ed, the extra-dimensional horse who talks, the finger of God that came in and put your chakra system in, an unending stream, and the key to this one, you and your personality, why you are here, a term of endearment, dear one, and the number 10. So, and the zeros we're building up here. So we go from no number, right? So you're just the source you're just the human without the source embodiment because you don't need it yet. You're fresh and new human the way God made you. And then we have the she of the extra dimensional added, the chakra system added, that source embodiment of the human, which then becomes the zero. This one, here I am, the terms of endearment from God to you, dear one, helping you with a guidance system, or in other words, giving you GPS. And then the shy of the SHI, which I would normally pronounce she, but since she is she, we're going to pronounce SHI as shy. So shy is the I, me, he, and she, and who reigns, who pours, who spills onto thee and becomes the number 10. Okay, so we go from no number to the zero of human embodiment of source to now the shy, which is that source energy of I am, so bringing in the 1 to the 0 in that magnetic trill. And then the show, SHO, is the shy and frosty one with the horseshoe and instrument and the intention to put their shoes on to protect themselves. They're very sweet and creative. It's very much of the feminine energy and have learned and know how to protect themselves, which is then the double zeros of 100, but without the 1 in front. The double zeros of the 2 humans embodied by source, or that connection. And then the shoe of the SHU is that double O, but preceded by 1, literally defined that way. The shoe is the double zeros, but preceded by 1, and you notice the double zeros is also the infinity symbol, is preceded by the 1, the protector of others, the meat, the head of the group or family, the storyteller who may be hasty at times or do things suddenly. So this is very much of the masculine I am presence, the leader of the group. So then we have the Shah of the original human, the she of the key of the she chakra system of streaming of the Ed, or extra dimensional, introduced with guidance to dear one, showing you the way, the 0 or source embodiment of the human added to the 1, and then the shy, who is the I am, who gives a hand instead of just a finger and pours their heart onto thee. The show of the showing of intention, of humbly being creative and sweet and protecting oneself with that high vibrational energy, and horseshoeing themselves, right? So they can protect themselves with that double 0, that very high vibrational energy. But the shoe is more of the masculine energy, only preceded by the 1 with the double zeros, the 100, the protector of others, the heading of the group or the family, with sudden epiphanies and stories to tell. So then we bring in the whole word. So we have the Shah, the she, the shy, the show, and the shoe with the A-E-I-O-U. But now I want to tell you the shaman, the she-man, the shy-man, the showman, and the shoeman. The shaman is in their knowing without a chakra system, the monk faith healer that God originally intended. The she-man is becoming more feminine. The shy man is to thank, praise, and admire, an island unto themselves with stripes or contrasting views and allowing both. The showman entertains and juggles the business, and the shoeman with simple rice, a simple coat, and adds, or perhaps with ADD, or is someone who likes to add, or some, is summer. when lightning dances with the magnetic field, a set of ELF, which has to do with the vibrational frequency, that low vibrational frequency, but it's also elves. So with simple rice, coat, and adds, or is summer, when lightning dances with the magnetic field, a set of elves excited by light in a cavity between the earth and the ionosphere, 31 miles out, where the air turns to ether, mass to ash, and liquid plasma, and in the middle we dance in the Schumann resonance. And you notice that resonance is re, which is the Native American, re, sun, S-O-N, and ance, A-N-C-E. And A-N-C-E in Scottish, which Scottish is coming up again in the rose line, means once, which is also the one seal, and also the on of the CE, which I'll get into in a second. But again, resonance is the re of the shaman, the sun, and the ants. The Scottish once, or shaman, sun, and once. From there to here, right? So from the original human to the now moment, in the present moment. At 135 is the magician and the wounded warrior, resonating with the shoe man. That Mr. Ed doesn't wear horseshoes, but is the alpha with omega, which is the shape of the horseshoe, and does give out protective wear. So again, the Schumann resonance is referencing Mr. Ed and resonating with the shoe man, that Mr. Ed doesn't actually wear horseshoes, but is the alpha and the omega and does give out protective wear. The void of within and the shaman's human wounded warrior journey, as in I've talked about before, that we don't become the wounded warrior on the human's path. We are the wounded warrior when we start as a human because of all the wounding from being the stone and the elements and the plants and the animals. The shaman's wounded warrior journey to the electromagnetic grid, or God, with the elves, remember the ELF of the elves, where it's Christmas every day, with twins at their grid points, even when the King of Wands gets a little bit hasty and off balance on the Fool's Journey, because remember the Schumann, the shoe, was it the shoe? Just give me 1 second here. Right, so the shoe energy can be hasty, right? So even though the shoe man is very elevated, they can also, they're still human, so they can still be hasty and rushed, like the King of Wands, the man of passion. So when he gets off balance, as in one of the cards in this deck comes up as the yin yang off balance, so this is this energy of the shaman's wounded warrior journey through that electromagnetic grid with the elves, where it's now Christmas every day, right, heaven on earth, with the twins at their grid points. Even when the King of Wands shaman, who sometimes gets a little bit hasty and off balance and needing to come back to his Schumann resonance, on the Fool's Journey, but with an open heart, the beacons of light, the leaders by example, with waves constantly beating up against them. The number 44. Again, the train coming into the station of the fourth finger to the fourth chakra, where a shock to the heart is a shock to the creator. The family roots of double O and the paths of roots, or again, root, the word root with R-O-O-T. Take out the double zeros and it becomes R-T, which is root. So it's still root, but a path this time. The double zeros, or the paths or roots, to take always together underground. So it's saying the family of roots and paths, those paths to take, that you're being guided to take, are always together underground and below water, but they're the connections of roots and rocks and stones that you can't see, but the connections are always there. So remember that big rock under the ocean that becomes two separate islands, but they're not separate, they're one. The Holy Grail. Grail is God's rail, At 143, the Magician and the coming together of the Three of Cups. God's rail, the Holy Grail. The Holy God's rail is the love train to infinitum, coming together magically, with purity of diamond and angelic wings, and the innocence of the King of Swords, suddenly offering love. So where the King of Wands can suddenly go off balance with his passions, the King of Swords writes that energy with his innocence and purity, suddenly offering love to the Knight of Swords, able to see their underground railroad connection, the veins and streams of love light that are unending. And so as above, so below the surface, both heaven or Gaia and earth, which is 5D and 3D, raising the ante to the 4 of the 4D, there's that number 4 again, raising the ante to ants, A-N-C-E, or A-N-T-S, or A-U-N-T-S, all the meanings of ants, which also means once, which is one seal, or on point, sealed with a kiss. Okay, you get it? Kiss is I am safety and security. I am social security. K is the energy of the human embodiment of source. Okay, I am safety and security. I am social security. The kiss of the K of energy is the S of Sophia. And your Q is the human embodiment of source, the 0 with a line in it, the letter Q. The human embodiment of source in the quantum leap or of faith hill to climb. And then the equation for infinity was coming up as e to the negative x, or 1 over e, which is the the natural number is e. Sorry about that. So the Q is the human embodiment of source in quantum leap of faith with a hill to climb. And the infinity of the natural number e, which is 27 point something, whatever, but to the negative x is the infinity, which also can be written as 1 over the e times x equals infinity. 1 over e in the crazy eights, which is the x, dance of the x marks the spot. The 3 lines down connected at the bottom, which is that W of the Rolling Stone and the Shah, and connected at the top as well if you are gifting or gifted with ash, or the icing on the cake on the top, the bow on top of the present, or the light on top. So if heaven and earth are as above so below, then the monkey in the middle has canceled them out, because the 5D is heaven on earth. So there's nowhere to go. We're on a level playing field now. There's no reflection. It just is. I am. I-A-U-M. I om. I am home. So the I am is really the I om, which is A-U-M, which is the 4 parts of A-U-M and then space, and here with the I of the I am. I, instead of saying om, which is home, I am home, is the I om. That I am Henry VIII I am, that home is the castle in a cloud. Henry VIII is hen and re, the hen of the group of women and the re of the shaman, the he and she in the dance of infinitum, the quantum energy twins. And Spirit's connecting with me. At 1:59 is the Magician and the 59 of the 11th hour, that 5 of Swords of the War Within, which is today, the 11th hour, the day before the new year. The 59 is the last minute before the 60 minutes, and the 59 is the energy of going into the 0 point, the one of the magician, the magician embodiment of the 11th hour, which, by the way, the 11th hour is actually 10 to 11, because 11 to 12 is the 12th hour, right? Because the hour comes before and it completes at 12, because then 12 becomes 0 and starts over again. So Henry VIII with Hen and Re, he and she in the dance of infinitum, the quantum energy, or the twins, back and forth and up and down all at the same time. No time and space, and no space at 2:01, which again is the feminine and the masculine. And then the end. The end is near, and so I face my final curtain, as we have the last day of the year. But the end here wasn't coming up as the end of the story, because the end is reflected as well, and the end is TH, EE, and D. And end, the words on this card is the end, and then you are held. The endings, actually. But here's the end to my story, that you are held. And by the way, you are held is the letter U, the letter R, and then eld, like you are eld. You are held is you are eld. That's the coding of the URL. Okay? And then the end backward is DNEEHT, which is instead of DNA, instead of the acid here, because the end is TH to the nth degree of the energetic exchange, and ND is you are welcome. So to the nth degree in energetic exchange, and the arrows of love that you are welcome, and then the reverse of that of DNEEHT of the end is actually DNA, but not the A, not the acid, but the energetic exchange, that quantum leap of the twins at the height of the energy exchange. Not one rolling stone, but two rolling stones, rolling as one in the EE to the MM to the 3-3 to the WW. The energy exchange of EE of Mary Magdalene, the MM, and the 33 of the unity consciousness of the wounded warrior, which of course is Jesus Christ. Or Metatron and Michael and World War, that you are held in the sunset of your ancestors. You are eld in the sun, their set of elves that are all excited by the space between. In the word sun, the 0 is the space between the S and the N, which is the Sophia and the Christ. The Sophia mess and the Christ mess, or the mass of the feminine, the masses of the masculines, and wanting to get in on the group hug. The oneness of it all. The reflection, but on the same level, not above and below, but the same level on the horizon line at the sunset. The underlying energy being the green-blue planet that we're on, with pink, peach, and golden white sky, and the Akashics attached to the chakra rod, becoming the T. That staff are available in Akashic records at the top, as long as you come from the upgraded heart and the shaman roots. The second column here is the light and the shadow, and the cosmos sending in the troops, the rainbow bridge of the heart, the root, and the electromagnetic grid. Then the third column is the good music and cheer that Archangel Sandalphon, or Sand, brings in, where land meets the sea and the sky, where's the horizon line of the sunset, or the jester's court, on the path through the void. And the void is Oi VD, or the O of human embodiment of source, and the I am, and creating divinity, or the creation of the human ID. I am divine, but sometimes I get knocked off my high horse, or Mr. Ed. Nay, and I need help to get back up, or on, at 220, which is the 2 of the feminine, and the 20 of that judgment call. And then the last lines here became 221 and 222, because 221 is the fool's journey of the 22 plus 1, which is part 1 of the divine masculine's journey, and the divine feminine's world complete. And then 222, which is the 2 of the divine feminine with the 22, which is the fool's journey, part 2, the divine feminine with the fool. And also 222, of course, is that guidance counselor show of that one-to-one energy, that we're on an even playing field here, and also the pure guidance of the one-to-one, which the 222 is the 6 of the love train of 2022, with that 0 inserted there for space to catch it, to catch the love train, number 6. So that was really cool. So it's kind of like going from the 4 up to the 6 via the 5. And remember, the 5 in 5th dimension is just a jumping off point. So once you get to the 5th dimension, you can hop off anywhere. It's kind of like the station, right? The 4D is the bridge. It's that purgatory, right? Dark night of the soul. You're going from the 3D to expand into the 5D, and then from there, right, you're fully open to what you want to do. So that was my first, and the geese are totally going by right now. That was a message to you guys. A group of geese just came by. So if you might want to listen to that again, because those messages that came up in this Metatron read were very significant. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the Metatron read from yesterday, and we'll get through the other reads as well. All right, so, and where are we? We're at 36 minutes, so that's where the first read went till. 36, if somebody wants to timestamp that, they can. All right, so here is the second Metatron read. This was from yesterday morning. And this was at 1:50, actually afternoon. It was 1:51 to 1:52 yesterday, because I had already done my video for you guys early yesterday. And 51 and 52, of course, are the King and Queen of Swords and the one of the Magician here. The underlying energy here, the card was the Passion card of the Knight of Wands, and beneath it was the Beacon and the codependency of the family tree. And the first card out for this read was Fire, which is also the Sun energy here, and the Dragon. So then the colors in this read were, from yesterday, were yellow, red, and blue. And that was it. So again, it's the energy of the red of the root chakra to the blue of the throat to the third eye, because it is in this deck, even though there's an indigo card as well, the blue is still a deep blue, so it indicates not only the throat, but going into the third eye as well. And then the yellow of the solar plexus of your confidence. And we're actually moving from the yellow into the green chakra, right, as a heart-based human. And we're ending the year today. So that was very interesting. So today, this day is showing you the colors we're moving into, and then today's read was about the green and blue of the earth, so Gaia's colors. And then we have the, and it was interesting the way they were talking about the sky colors, not so much of the light blue, but of the peaches and pinks and the golden white hues of the sunset type of energy, reflecting you back. So we started out at 158, which is the Magician and the Four of Swords, the 5D connection that you have, and the underlying energy of the Beacon shining on Route 44, the finger to heart, where each meets the sky, or where the earth meets the sky, the sea rather, and meets the sky, meets I, that Atlas and Hercules, right? Because Hercules is her harvest. Atlas and her harvest are Hercules, and then the Rock of Gibraltar was coming up too, because for me they come up as a point towards England, which then pointed in the Gibraltar Strait to the U.S., which we went through England because that's our ancestry. So we have the Rock of Gibraltar, which was broken down again. And of course, there's no other definition for Gibraltar other than the area that the rock is in. But the Gibra actually means bathtub or basin, but without the L. And then the Rock of the Altar, which is coming up as GI and BR, like military and British, the British Army. Gibraltar, a mix of British English and Andalusia Spanish. And then ultimately it was coming up with all of the different definitions of the words in Gibraltar, which Gib comes up as the joint, the articulation, but also the castrated male comes up under GIB. The articulation of the joint, the fold, and the castrated male was coming up as like the fold or the articulation without the balls to say what you have to say, to piece together from leftover parts after the war, right? It's like post-war leftovers, creating movement but without strength, like the sailboat without the wind. So ultimately it was coming up as, and also Raltegravir came up as an antiretroviral drug used to treat HIV. And then Gibraltar comes up as being like the sailboat without the wind, the royal coin but made of gravel, right? So there's no real work there. Or tar, the sticky form of heroin, a drum frame but without the drum. Or the donkey, which is an ass, and temporarily to be. So it's not permanent. Temporarily to be, and bald also comes up here, and the whipping sound, a type of cake, and eats it too, to come to survive, over and across, or to fly like the Maltese falcon, the jeweled bird. But then greed comes up there, right? In search of the prize. And that the Maltese falcon's from 1941. 41 is the Ace of Cups. And also a prized possession that's never obtained. So again, it's what's the point of possessing something if it doesn't work, if there's no wind to use it with in a sail, right? Or the prized possession that's unobtainable at 226, which is the High Priestess and the Page of Wands. So the codependency of the Knight of Swords at the root of the tree to find inspiration to move and enjoy life. Rock, paper, scissors is coming up as the cliff, the tree, and the heart. Which will you choose today? Or who will agree with you to make it a winner? And why do you need that? Needing acceptance outside of yourself at 229 for others to approve of how Creator made you different from them. Why do you need their approval if the whole point of making you different from them was to be different from them? So it's saying you don't have to do anything, that you are worthy in just being who you are. You don't have to prove anything to anyone at 229, which is the High Priestess, and the 29 of being present in your knowing, your gifts. The dragon wakes with the fire of the sun and the sun in the sky, the sun as in the Father and the Son. The bee pollinating the yellow flower to create a void, to retreat and rest and pause. So again, pollinating the solar plexus to shine your light. The sun making magic and then walking away and within. The evolution of the Page of Cups. The pure innocent love birthing the new heart, the sweet heart, connected to the golden gate, the two pillars, the two wings, the two flames, and the monkey in the middle, the dragon fire of the pure heart, without the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Not needing outside approval from yourself, of unity consciousness, not needing to see that it's there, but knowing that it's there. The grounding with the Native American, which then came up in today's read, the truth of the shaman, of the peace pipe, the safety, strength, and power, with feathers in their hair, detaching from the drama with unconditional love, sitting in the sun on the grass and looking up, which is very much that energy of the native shaman. The boundaries daily. Remember to set your boundaries daily off the beaten path. When you go into unexplored territory, you don't need to know where you're going. Just set some boundaries around yourself to make sure that you're protected in that high vibe energy. So boundaries daily off the beaten path, through the arches and the steeples, or the mother arcs and the Milky Way castles, to the light at the end of the tunnel, via Metatron's rainbow bridge to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Who are you today? Who is your feminine? Who is your masculine today? And letting go of control in the fall to the winter, the fall into win, the two U's, in, toggling up for time out urgently needed, receiving the sun and allowing the shadow, the mother who holds you when you expand, she ever present to comfort you when you are blue, the energetic exchange, or that double rolling stone of the ancestors brought forward. So there's that 4 again, the forward. At 244 then, which is the High Priestess in the 44, of the number 44 train from the finger to the heart, the cardinal, and right then I saw this bright cardinal across the street, which I normally wouldn't notice because it's a little far for me to see, but he was so bright red that I had to see him on this weed branch across the street. He was just right in my field of view as I looked up on a weed. As the squirrel then jumps on the seed in my pot right outside my window so that another bird couldn't get to it. Showing appreciation for the birds, the air and the sunlight, the diamond light. And fly, fly, falcon, in transition out of the chaos. The messages of magic and castles on a cloud. And then at 2:47, a child yelled outside, and it sounded like they yelled out my daughter's name, but it wasn't. It was probably more of a Nana type of energy or some kind of mother. The messages of magic and castles on a cloud. With dreams coming true, it can happen to you, conquering your fears one step at a time. And the 2:47 is the High Priestess and your synchronicities, giving you guidance every step of the way. Self-satisfaction with family around and going with the flow, 1-to-1 on an even playing field. So the underlying energy here, and 323 came up. I had taken a jog right there. The 3 of the Empress and the 23 of the King of Wands. The underlying energy of rock, paper, incisors, taking a bite out of life. From the dragon to the pure heart, to curled up in a ball, which is child's pose, and coming out the other end. Who are you today? So it's saying from your dragon spirit, going into the heart, becoming the womb of the child in child's pose, curled up in a ball, and then coming out the other end, being birthed as the child. And who are you going to be today? From the yellow to the gold, from your solar plexus to the Christ consciousness, from the bubble or the bumble, which is great because that comes up as Rudolph, right, with bumble. From the bumble to just be, with the key on the path to the light, through the hedges, through the woods to grandmother's house, and the mainframes, the arcs and the castles. It's just hard to see the light of the fall colors in the dead of the gray and white winter, preparing the flowers, the birthing of the new. You just can't see what they do. From the solar plexus yellow to the green room roll of the heart, the 4 chambers, the rolling stone of the E, M, 3, and W, the emu and the miwi, or the electromagnetic field, and the 3, which the EM is the electromagnetics, but it's also the M's of EM of Imana, which is the she god of the Pleiadians. So it's all of those things, the rolling stone and the emu of the EM3W, but also the miwi backwards, or the EMs and the 3 W's, the bases, the endpoints, or the ground points, like the diamond on the baseball field of dreams. Build it and they will come. There are 2 to 3 acts or parts in a play, but there are 4 bases and seasons and quarters and years to learn. The 4th quarter, the 11th hour of the crazy 8th dance, the last 8th, into the 12, which is then 0 again. The void, then the root and the truth. The rainbow processing and integrating, getting to that light, only to see your shadow again with compassion and gratitude and a moment of freedom, and pausing then into the void again to start the cycle all over again with A, U, M, and space for the human there on the same playing field. The AUM is ah, oh, Emma, and then silence. I thought that was great. At 3:43, which is the mother of the Empress, and the 43 of coming together with the children. Ah, oh, ma, silence. That's the Om. And now we have, that's the mother, but then you add the I of the masculine, and then you have the I'm home. So at 4:44, which is the angelic realms, we have the union read here. And here's the picture of that. So again, we're doing 40, 5D, 60 now. 40, 5D, 60. And 60 is instant manifestation, right? So you can be seeing things you're trying to manifest into the 5 and 4D here. You have the incoming feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, feminine on the left, masculine on the right, and the bridge between them in the center, the underlying energies and the closing energies over here. So it's really this card. I pulled an extra one. So the Six of Wands as the underlying energy and the Ten of Cups as the closing energies here for the union read. And this was at 444. The underlying energy being the Six of Wands, the journeyman, the Queen of Wands being in the center, who can have lots of different definitions in this deck because she can be very positive energy, but also there's some negative energies associated with that, but a multitasker and able to do everything for herself, right? She can meditate, she can serve up energy to others, and she can crown herself as well. And then we have the Ten of Cups at the end, which is the epitome of emotional fulfillment or the happy ending. So climbing, synchronicities and stairs leading the way to the Queen of Wands creatrix with the Ten of Cups family and emotionally fulfilled or that happy ending in a breakthrough, a birthing with a mighty roar, breaking through to the other side in a pyramid scheme, perhaps. The incoming divine feminine here is the Hermit, the Nine of Wands or the Wounded Warrior, and the Three of Cups. The Hermit and the Wounded Warrior coming together, or did, the Hermit with the light and the Wounded Warrior taking down the top flame with right hand to even things out 4-4, or on a level playing field that's fair, coming together in joy. The 4D is the Three of Pentacles, the indigo, and the ascension of the world, the divine feminine workplace, the trinity of try, that show of power, and TY, or that show of gratitude, of trying to show power and gratitude, and the divine masculine ascending with the world in their right hand, coming together, bridging in indigo proposal of diamond or light in childlike manifestation. The 5D here being the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Five of Swords, the divine feminine hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile from the group below, preserved on ice with broken crystals, needing help to put them back together again. It's like the Humpty Dumpty energy. The divine masculine from frog to prince, juggling 3 and saving 2 for later, in a steamy mist on stone harboring, the war within, bridging with the Queen of Wands in a better place creating, at 508, which is the Hierophant and the dance of strength and manifestation, which 5 and 8 are also greased lightning. The 6D is the Page of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. The divine feminine bursting forth, again here we have the 4 again, with open heart, the divine feminine Atlas leaving the Wounded Warrior behind, seeing the light and bridging in friendly waters, perhaps dolphin or Pisces swim. The light is where the ocean is. The outgoing divine masculine of divine justice, but also the Jew stice was coming up, right? Jew references, it's a Jesus reference with stice, which also means stick. And of course, we're dealing with a stick all the time these days, right? But the divine Jew stick, I'm just getting Judas as well, Judas. The divine Judas, the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Swords. The blind divine Jew, greatly inspired in bliss, but flipped off in pain. There's no two ways about it, right? Because both extremes are both polarities all at once coming to the middle. The Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups, which is one is the extreme pain and one is the extreme happiness, and an ending, a break, through to the other side. The Kingpin coming up here. The Pyramid of the 10 Cups, but the one on top is the Kingpin. They all lift the group, the 10th, which then goes to the other side because the 10th is part of the new cycle. The 9 is the end. So the 10th is the new. It's the transition to the new. At 513, which is the Hierophant and the transition or the death card, it's lifting the 10th above the falls. And I wrote about the falls instead. So that's a message as well. Above or about the falls as the 9 crumble because that is the old. Passing to the next generation. The divine feminine working to recover time, money, and effort, but with an open heart. The divine masculine ascending to end the war within, where Atlas is leaving the victim or the wounded warrior behind. The bridge here is the indigo proposal to the Queen of Wands, multitasker, to find peaceful play. The Divine Feminine with Virgo on their side, and the Page of Cups, innocent love, and the Divine Masculine with Pisces and Libra, and perhaps Leo and Sag as well, with no court cards, no other people there. And between the Masculine and Feminine is the Gemini or Virgo energy with the Queen of Wands in a peace treaty here. So reflecting the collective union, the divine new beginning of bliss is 2022, the number 6, at 517, which is the Hierophant and the 17 of the star. And dreams coming true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. So the overall number for this read was the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, which is a new manifestation, perhaps the good student or a researcher type of energy, or just an earth sign child or a pet. And the numbers came up as the horizontal pillars, the 32 of the journey, the 10 of the wheel, and the 26 of the Page of Wands. The vertical pillars came out to 6, 9, and 3, which is the Lovers, the Hermit, and the Empress. And then 8, 6, which can be the dance of manifestation, and the Lovers, but also can be 86ing something out of here, with the 15 of the Devil, and then the 0, 1 of the space or source energy, and the Magician or Magician embodiment, and then the 20 of Judgment, or the wake-up call, leading into the Page of Pentacles. So the journey destined, that high vibration of the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, or Libra with 2 young energies of the Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles, or fire and earth. And then the other way was the Lovers, the Hermit, and the Empress, or Virgo and Taurus, dancing with the Devil. I was just getting Dancing with Wolves as well. Dancing with the Devil Lover, with space to magnify and magically manifest and make judgment calls, or manipulate and be judgmental. So again, 2 sides of the same coin, being the 2 extreme polarities, or coming to the middle in a new manifestation of the good student or research, being very practical with their energy. The proposal of a new life to the Queen of Cups lover and shadow, but with space, or sourcing magic, announcement, or a wake-up call to that Page of Pentacles, the one who's excited about a new opportunity or invitation. And there's lots of invites because tonight is New Year's Eve. The proposal to the Empress, 86ing the Devil, with space to manifest and wake up, the Page of Pentacles. So we have the, now the read in front of you. Excuse me, put the light back on. The read in front of you is the general reading for all the twins. So this isn't just about the physical union and grounding it, but all of the energies going on around the twins today. And so this was cut and dealt at 5:30, which is the Hierophant of change, expansion, and freedom, and the 30 of the union, or the home, for today, the last day of 2021. At 5:42, which is the Hierophant and the 42 of the 2 of Cups, which is that one-to-one energy of playing on a level playing field, of flames came up, so of drama and the heat. And then ES was also coming up, of the S of Sophia. And the essence of the flame, of not getting burned, right? Because when you take the flame up to the higher dimensions, it's no longer flame, it's essence. So take the bite out of the burn, basically, here, by elevating your vibration. And then I finished doing the clarification at 5:55, going into the 56, which is the truth going into your knowing. And that's the faith energy of being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. You don't have to see what's coming because you already know. That's the having the faith. 5:55, which is big change. It's not the double fives is leading into the new beginning, the one, but the triple fives is leading into unending change, right? It's perpetual change. It leads into the shadow because you're always dancing with your shadow. It is that constant do-si-do, the dance in the middle. The 5 is the middle number. Then the major arcana here is guidance and higher self, which guidance is the Hierophant and higher self is the High Priestess. And before the read is the ascension of the world and transition of the death card. And after the read was the Hanging Man and the Tower. So they kind of go together, right? It's like the Quasimodo and the Tower. We have 2 pentacles, 2 cups, 1 sword, and 4 wands here. A lot of wand flame energy here. A lot of passion, but that can be aggression as well. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and again, it's New Year's Eve, so that makes sense because everyone's really passionate to go out tonight. But remember that with passion, there's also aggression. Because passion is inspiration with ego. So if there's ego involved, it can always go both ways. So remember to be conscious of being present in the moment. Present to going off balance and coming back to center again, especially if you're going to be drinking. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Cups. And the Knight of Wands here at play in the read, which makes sense too, because there's a lot of people out on the prowl tonight. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, and then the King of Cups. We also have the Wounded Warrior there, and it looks like it's attached to the King of Cups. And that could be the king worrying about the kids going out. And we have the King of Wands after the read. The King of Cups is the main king in the read of unconditional love, but also worried as the Wounded Warrior. And then the 2 knights, the Knight of Pentacles, very practical, and the Knight of Wands, who's not very practical. And then the King of Wands coming up after the fact, the Man of Passion. So the main numbers in this read are the 222s and the 88s. The 88s are most significant of the dance of the crazy 8s, the 2 twins side by side, both dancing between their own masculine and feminine, but not quite in union yet, right? Because the third 8 comes in and then tips the 2 8s over to become the infinity between them as they become one. The 222s, again, came up with the guidance counselor energy that I ended my first read with. The 222 of the 6th year that we're going into, 2022, with space between, right, to hold you up there, to see a new perspective, right? Because 2 is always being able to see 2 sides of the situation. That's the feminine energy. The masculine energy is very selfish energy because and there's confirmation. And there's confirmation of that. It's not selfish in a negative way. It's just they're very focused and directed. That's their purpose. They're the direction, whereas the feminine is the being able to see both sides of the situation, right? To give new perspectives, to bring both of those to the middle. That's the third energy. And then we have the 34, the 1 of the Magician, the 34 of the energetic exchange, the 89 of the Phi energy, expanding and contracting back and forth, but then reflecting in the middle instead. We also have the 28 of the Twin Flames, the choice of path, or just staying at that 0 point and not choosing a path. And then having the 48 of the walking away and within. And remember to walk away tonight when you need to. Walk away and within. Or walk, don't drive, right? Make sure you get a ride. And then the 1 of the Magician. Of that Magician embodiment of having a great time. And we also have the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 23 of the King of Wands, the 46 of the 6 of Cups, the children loving each other, that innocent, pure love, and the 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, that dream family, heaven on earth. And in a lesser sense, also the Knight of Pentacles comes up, the 67. The code line is all about following your dreams, with number 3 and 8, which is 11. It's also the 38, 11 of the Queen of Cups, which is the Mary Magdalene energy and the alignment of the visionary, of the feminine, being able to see both sides of the situation. And following your dreams is broken up into fall and O, which is folly and having fun, and the owiness of that if you don't behave yourself. And then your D, reams, your divine reams, which can come up as the icing on the cake, which is coming up as the ash on the present, or the light on the gift in the read. So the messages that came up on this code line about following your dreams, the TT was coming up. So temper tantrums definitely coming out tonight with the energy of New Year's Eve. But it's also the pi energy of the human embodiment of source, which is the circle with the line down the middle, which is balanced. But it's not dancing. It's still. It hasn't learned to do the dance yet. So the TT can be a temper tantrum, or it can be a balanced human, but they're very easily knocked off balance because they haven't learned to do the dance yet. So it can be both sides of the coin there. So it's also the pi, the TT, but that could be time out times 2 as well. Make sure you take 2 times out, or drinking water between your drinks is coming up right now as well. The energy of the Empress, or the 3 in alternating currents, or after meals, and the madman, the drunk fool, the stone-breaking plant, someone who busts your balls, the knight, in other words, the nighttime, but also the knight as in the king, and the good knight, walking into that good night, the 8 of cups of walking into that good night, and then the bridge of ownership, right? Taking ownership of your actions in connection with the God energy of following your dreams. Taking a double time out with the Empress, or perhaps 3 in alternating currents, with the stone-breaking plant, or someone busting your balls, in the after-death test to walk away to your I am presence, to take ownership in God and follow your dreams. And the ream of the D reams was coming up as, and again, Scottish interpretation is cream. It's the cream of the crop, the frosting on top, the foam. So the frosting of the dream. Remember that the New Year's is just the frosting. It's not the D of the divine. The ream is also a hole, a shape, or to ream somebody out, right? To bust their balls or get mad at someone. And that could be someone losing their temper. To yell at or berate. To sexually penetrate in a rough and painful way. So do not force, or don't allow anyone else to force themselves on you. Don't put yourself in that situation. I'm not blaming anyone for anything. This is about not blaming yourself for anything. Temper tantrum, be good to yourselves tonight. The temper tantrum, perhaps of the Empress, or of 3 hungry fools, or drunk fools, or before meals drinking, right, which then is going to get you more drunk, or they were planted to break their stones, night 8 of emotions, in the dance of the masculine and the feminine, bridging God with a painful scolding, which could be verbal and or sexual abuse. So don't take those, right, those 39 lashes. The pie of the circle with the line down the middle, which is the perfect balance of the human but not dancing yet, the very centered human, the Empress. And then, like, you can be balanced, but with alternating currents, wanting to dance as you're going out for New Year's tonight. Some of you may be dancing. But the balance-centered human might get awakened tonight, wanting to dance all of a sudden on the Fool's Journey, or a test for you to see if you'll walk away and within instead, and bridge with God and follow your dreams, not theirs. That's very important too, because remember, when you get drunk, you lose your faculties. So at 6:25 is the Lovers and the 25 of the Knight of Wands, and this is the read in front of you. The underlying energy is that 3 of Pentacles, which is, for me, is the card of co-creation. It can be the workplace, it can be school, it can be church, it can be the gym, the art center, whatever it is for you. The bottom of the deck here. Let's see if I can clarify that picture a little better. All right, so the bottom of the deck here with the mini cards on top, and then going to 5 cards down, we have the 2 of Swords upright, the Ascension, which is the World, reversed, the 2 of Pentacles reversed, the Transition card reversed, and then the 2 of Cups upright. So 2 of Cups and the Lovers, basically, by the way, guys, are both upright today, which is wonderful energy for love. Knowing and keeping to yourself, not ascending to drop the facade, and needing to transition to that 2 of Cups, which is also about seeing both sides of the situation, being able to see each other's point of view and co-create together. The Knight of Wands rushing back with a choice to make, in a split, needing clarity on a quest to find peace of mind, reaping rewards of peace, being weak or sick or in need of courage, with lover's bliss and a lashing out at work, or holding their tongue with something to say, with Gabriel mediating. They're mediating the swords that are falling out. The lover's bliss path is not always a smooth one. The apple tree and the burning bush, where the worst is over. So there's VD coming up again. The apple tree and the burning bush, where the worst is over and it's time to put away the swords. Glued to the ceiling with anticipation, and I'm getting Rocky Horror Picture Show too, anticipation, with a mountain between, lessening the mountain, becoming a molehill, the injustice of recovery, and then being let back in. So somebody could get locked out, not only because they forgot their keys, because someone might have locked them out because they get pissed off, And then the Sovereign reversed, or a dependent, maybe a sister or someone suffering in silence, or someone who's not sleeping well. Perhaps too much light, or too much to do or repair, and feeling overwhelmed at night. We have the wedding coming up here, which means the situation involves marriage, but below that is deception. And that can just have to do with wearing masks, or the mask that we always wear as humans, and coming out of that, being your authentic self. The King of Wands upright with affection for the dream family, that 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy, or the world at large. And the Sovereign no longer obsessed over being caught with their pants down in a splitting of the bulls, Hatari Safari, or into whips, and manual screwing, and that can just be building something. It doesn't have to be of sexual nature, or chaining up the bulls while planning or contemplating screwing another. And take it as it comes to you, okay? There's no specific meaning there. Getting over hairy legs, or tripped up by the vine, or the divine, or poison ivy in the woods, or one wearing their heart on their deathbed no more, because he doesn't care if she lives or dies, while feeling him have sex with another, yet still coming around now and then to see if he still owns her, thinking he has a right to mark his territory at 647, which is the Lovers, and that 7 of Cups of following your synchronicities and signs. Thinking he could make up to her with a little bit of a tickle and a screw, right, which is not an apology, and is remembering to respect yourself. So if that's respecting yourself because you're together, there's nothing wrong with that. But if this is someone coming back who's really hurt you, is a little tickle and a screw actually what you want? Is that what's going to make you feel good about yourself? Or is that just conceding to somebody else's will who really needs to earn your trust first? That's the message coming up. With Scorpio reversed, Leo reversed, Gemini upright, and Libra reversed, and Cancer upright here. With patience, which is number 2 in the High Priestess, and beneath that physical activity, which is number 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed, no longer being patient, or if the Fool lacking faith and or embarrassed, falling from grace, or perhaps fell on their face because they get drunk. And then starting over with the Queen of Cups upright, the King of Cups the King of Pentacles upright, the Knight of Cups upright, but the King of Cups who's reversed, with codependency that they won't let go of the King of Cups reversed, Scorpio reversed, with Capricorn and or vice versa, on fire and going under. So again, someone who's got a drinking or sexual addiction type of thing here, right? That drinking is only going to make it worse. It's not going to help them, right? Not fall off the wagon. So why would you put yourself in a situation where you can undo all of the hard work you've done, which is the message coming up from Spirit? At 749, which is Chariot, and the 49 of the 9 of Cups, of self-satisfaction, being happy with oneself, which is the prize, that's the gift. The King of Pentacles upright is coming up as a Capricorn, perhaps, doesn't have to be, and the King of Cups reversed, maybe a Scorpio, or have Scorpio in their chart, with loving Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups, who could be water signs. The Lovers starting over, and the King of Pentacles upright and the King of Cups reversed must deal with it, or are the Lovers but with children around, perhaps being dead tired or near death, or taking forever to end a situation, perhaps at work with the 3 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords reversed holding their tongue and suffering in silence, or dealing with sister, with the Chariot or the car, boldly moving or waiting or running of the bulls or buffalo here, and patience. The underlying energy here is being free to leap in a divorce or spiritually outside the box with Lover or Aries upright and Taurus reversed, Lovers or Gemini or Twin, and receiving a love offer from them. The 9 of Cups, or receiving a love offer from the 9 of Cups upright and the 9 of Wands upright as well, which again are the polarities, right? Because the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior, and the 9 of Cups is totally at peace with themselves. One is very satisfied and one is guarded and present to the Scrooge energy, and or the Queen of Swords reversed, perhaps pushed off the edge into the devil's den, waving or landed right in their lap. Somebody might, this could be You could meet your love by falling on them because you're drunk at the bar, or a bunch of drunk people push you over and you end up falling on someone. So again, someone's pushed off the ledge or fell right into the devil's lap, or into the temptation waving, or just landed right in their lap, unable to make the call, grieving loss and regret, and the Queen of Wands facing her fears, herself, or an air sign enemy, or falling into two amusing themselves or making fun of the one who's grieving, or just feeling sad. Like, they don't have to be in a deep grief or anything, but this could be two people making fun of the one who's sad, or the one who embarrassed themselves, and there's two on the side here chuckling, and that would be the Queen of Wands with whoever I just said. The Queen of Wands, and then an air sign type of person. And again, that, if you see your friend or your kids or just somebody fall by accident, it may be something that's funny, but it also could be somebody making fun of somebody else, which wouldn't be very nice. And then the Queen of Wands could also be with a thief, a cheat, or a runner, or receiving stolen merchandise and laughing about how easy they were to distract so they could get in there and take what they wanted. Or the Queen of Swords reversed is that Five of Swords enemy, or the Seven of Swords upright air sign, purposely getting between the Devil or Capricorn and the Aquarius reversed, or one who needs to swallow their pride and make a call or judgment or pick up the kid. Or picking up the phone to call someone, or picking up the phone to find out if it's theirs for somebody. Recently here is the Four of Wands upright, and that could be to find out if you got something too, if you're bidding on something as well, or to confirm that you get something. The recent past here is the Four of Wands upright, the home or union, with the King of Pentacles depressed, or with depressed Aquarius reversed and Knight of Swords reversed, and the Page of Wands excited now that the worst is over, ready to work hard or work out or clean up the yard, drained, or kids or pets acting up or not feeling well, not sharing, or the inequity of a third party or bad influences or social distancing and feeling bad about it, with the King of Pentacles upright, in a heated exchange with the Hermit reversed, Sovereign reversed, or Virgo dependent, or dependent coming out and receiving a big offer from the Emperor. Perhaps the King of Pentacles is the Emperor, or not, and the foundation is the Ace of Swords reversed in a split or lie, needing the truth, the whole truth, Satisfied High Priestess resisting change, or Pisces upright and Scorpio reversed, offering love to the Knight of Pentacles reversed here at 8:11, which is the dance of alignment or justice and truth and balance. At 8:12, then, hanging out, or the Knight of Cups between Scorpio reversed and an Earth sign reversed, perhaps Virgo or child of the King of Pentacles, Capricorn perhaps, offering a little love to one who is stuck, and the central energy is the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck, stubborn, or unable to function, working to align and defenseless to the energies of grief or sorrow, about overindulging or bad influences and not sharing the work equally. That it's unfair for the King of Pentacles here, that somebody else isn't pulling their weight, with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and the Four of Wands, home or union, or dream home and the family with the business. And the challenge being here, or the block, is the Eight of Cups reversed. This is the challenge. The challenge being the Eight of Cups reversed, uncomfortable energies, or feeling imprisoned or anxious about failure, or attention-seeking behavior, or secrets at 8:21, which is the dance of completion and the world. The Christ lovers, the Chariot lovers, so somebody out driving or ascending or moving fast or getting impatient waiting. But those lovers in the 5D connection or on break, or Cancer upright and Gemini upright and or twins sleeping together, and the King of Wands upright alone, the Page of Swords stepping it up and offering a tiny little bit of love while looking the other way, so their heart isn't in it. They're looking the other way to one who is also ignoring them. So they're offering this love to someone who's also ignoring them, so they're turning away because it's a pride thing. I'm not going to give that much love if they're still ignoring me. but they're both looking away from each other, but one's offering a little bit of love to the other. The Page of Swords with Aquarius in their chart in a split or lying, or their fingers are crossed behind their back, dead tired of injustice, or Scorpio and Libra both reversed, or the King of Wands or Scorpio in their chart and Cancer lover with Libra in their chart and or Virgo reversed. The man with two lovers in the never-ending story, and that can be with two people of affection or kids as well, but there's always two lovers in this situation if somebody's in a relationship. So the man with two lovers in the never-ending story, with the drained King of Cups upright and the Page of Wands playing the Fool to cheer up the King of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups reversed. Or the Queen of Cups reversed is losing faith in inspiring the King of Cups, or vice versa. Or the Page of Wands with Aries in their chart is between the King of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups reversed. And now is the Hierophant reversed with lack of guidance and the rejection of the Taurus Queen of Pentacles reversed, or their vulnerability, or with child. Present at a bad time, at night, or with Libra reversed and Cancer upright and Scorpio reversed too, and the Queen of Wands upright receiving the bat out of hell, a thief or a runaway, and the Page of Cups reversed Pisces, or whose world is upside down, with the wounded warrior guarded and awake to heartache of nostalgic memories, in separation reaping rewards, or daydreaming at work of the Queen of Swords reversed at work, or the need to face their fears, or dropping the act, or the facade, and breaking patterns of not communicating and being distant, and letting go to fix things, to repair things, or make amends. In ego death, or sick, or with bad health, or Leo pet or child who's out of control, and the King of Swords, magician reversed, may be deceiving and suffering in silence, or deceiving their sister, with Hierophant or Taurus reversed. And that can be someone just insecure or without the tools they need to do, or being very manipulative. At 8:36, which is the dance of the Atlas energy, the weight of the world on their shoulders, there also could be a narcissistic marriage or old man here, with Leo reversed, Gemini or Virgo reversed, and Cancer reversed, and Taurus reversed here. The King of Swords and the King of Cups are both upright here, with the Page of Wands is excited with Aries or Knight of Wands, Sagittarius, and soon here at 8:38, which is the dance of the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, master of emotions, may be anxious and uncomfortable, with Hermit reverse coming out to the Ten of Cups family, with the King of Cups dumping their emotional attachments and or multiple loads, with the Devil or Temptation Capricorn, who's waving in an abusive connection or a forced connection with soulmate and or child, and the Page of Cups reversed rejection of or at work, perhaps with the Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups present at work with you, and maybe you're taking them with you somewhere after work, so they had to come to work with you. Or this can also be a crying baby at work, in a split, divide, or a need to cut to the chase. At 8:42, which is the dance of the Two of Cups, the 42, the twin flames seeing themselves as the higher self upright. The Emperor upright and the Queen of Swords reversed, who may be looking back or very hurt or from the past, the patient angel holding back an announcement or wake-up call, or Sagittarius and Aries both needing to swallow their pride, with Aquarius reversed, or Emperor or Angel receiving a love offer under the radar from the Queen of Cups reversed, with Pisces upright, Aries and Sag upright, but Aquarius reversed, reconciliation and true love here for the twins, and around them is the Nine of Wands, wounded warrior, suddenly offering time, money, and effort, or offering at a bad time. And again, that could be missed calls and going back and forth because you know, people are getting ready to go out and things like that, or like I'm doing my video, so I couldn't answer a call. Or Scorpio to Libra reversed, wounded warrior, and the block being the Eight of Wands reversed with delays, or someone not expressing their true feelings, or petty arguments, which always come up when people are rushing out the door. The Two of Cups upright and the Six of Cups soulmates right here. So why is this the block? There's block of delays, but there's very positive energy on this energy of loving energy, 1-to-1 of the Two of Cups and 1-to-1 of the Six of Cups, innocent inner children, and the Peace card of the Six of Swords, moving very peacefully, even though there are delays. And this is the block, though. the block to being able to do this in a peaceful way, even if there is some stuckness or petty arguments or delays. You can still do it in a peaceful way. Finding peace of traveling together, or the Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed here, right? Because they could be whining, because if they're both reversed, or could be crying. The Page of Cups reversed can be a spoiled child as well. And then following your dreams, but even more so here is parenting and new beginnings. There's a lot about kids going out tonight. And then the Magician reversed with the Five of Pentacles reversed, feeling insecure without the tools, in recovery without an olive branch, doing it on your own. And the Knight of Wands upright, making an offer or invitation to the King of Swords, refusing to respond over and over, with the King of Cups and the Page of Wands. The Knight of Cups may be with their hands tied, and the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, not sharing with the King of Wands about hanging out with a sudden offer to the Empress upright, or suddenly hanging out with her, or has an epiphany about her. Or the Wounded Warrior is kicking everyone out to make an offer before it's too late for themselves, or because they're mad at everybody at 8:52, which is the dance of the Queen of Swords, who's reversed, by the way. And then the Two of Cups and Three of Pentacles, which are both upright here, which could be a loving partnership at work, or soulmates at work, or co-creating something. With the Ace of Swords reversed, though, which is a split, and this could be agreeing to disagree as well in a split, a divide, or a big lie where they need the whole truth. And then partners at work, again in that split with the higher self and the Wounded Warrior, home or in union, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed is that energy of being stuckness of all of the cards in the deck, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles is already the slowest knight. When he's reversed, they're immovable and stubborn, or unable to function, or perhaps on strike, or just being lazy. And the challenge being uncomfortable emotions with the King of Cups, not expressing and causing delays, perhaps in a divorce, with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, perhaps children, and then the King of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups reversed, reaping rewards of not sharing, or the inequity with the King of Wands shaman, awake suddenly, or with an epiphany or sexual exchange with the Empress upright here. At 8:56, the dance of being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. Okay. And then I have a quick message of the day. And the movie that was coming up last night was Rebirth, which was, I'd seen that before. It was kind of a crazy movie. And it's kind of like the same essence as the game. So it's that energy of putting you through the most traumatic experiences of your life so that you come out of it fresh and new in a rebirth. That you know you can handle anything after that. So the message of the day was at 11:47, and it's 1:27 on the clock now. Somebody wants to timestamp that for the message of the day. And then the underlying energy is the Dolphin, the Sun, the Five of Pentacles, and the House. The Dolphin and Sunshine, exposure perhaps to destitution, which doesn't have to be financial. It can be spiritual, emotional, or anything. Or locked out of a gated community or the group. With the Phoenix rising, the Peacock eyes, and I was getting eye. So the three, like the magnification or the dimensional eye. The Phoenix rising and the Peacock with eye. A closer look. The Mouse is nervous and the Dolphin is happy. The romantic pup crossing bridges with the 38 Queen of Cups. In a lover's breakthrough, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde dance. The Sovereign with wise counsel, energized and exposed. The lovers struggling to get out with justice or triumph of coming out or out in the cold. And the mature woman's Wounded Warrior path to the mature man of the 5 and the 6. The Hierophant and the lovers. On the journey of despair, or the pair at the gated house or big house, or not being let in or not being let out. And then at 12:12 was the first section of the Wolf and the Oyster. The oyster clammed up. The wolf is home in a Two of Cups connection with a dream gift. And the oyster, King of Cups, with a time crunch, and the Queen of Cups at 28, or the twin flame, expecting them. The intense Two of Cups energy here with the Queen of Cups connection with the King of Cups. And then at 12:21 was the section 2. Actually going from that connection, that intense connection was at 12:21. And then the second section is the frog, the unicorn, and the bunny. The frog facing the unicorn, and the bunny is scared. The frog is exposing the powers that be, the Ten of Cups with emotional fulfillment, with the Queen of Wands thief perhaps, and the unicorn Cancer healing, and it's inspired by unexpected income or unexpected incoming, perhaps guests that you're not expecting, and the bunny on a ship that sailed to detox justice of sudden wealth, and the Ten of Cups family healing now in detox. The third section is the fire ants and the nightingale. Did I show you? I didn't show you the picture here. There's a picture. And by the way, I didn't show you this picture either. So the read on the table, I just gave you two. This is the twin flame general read, and the full read is here. Okay. So the third section, the fire ants and the nightingale. The collective wound and clearing the air, with fire ants and a child in transition, letting go with shadow love, and the nightingale, with the key to freedom of unity and dumping emotional attachments on a high vibe journey at 1242, hanging out one-to-one. The fourth section, the moth, the cosmic egg, which is the crown chakra, and the hawk. Out of the crown and flying away, the moth is inspired by a letter. And again, remember, the moth jumps the gun. They rush in too quickly. The moth is inspired by the letter to come together in courtship. The cosmic egg grounding and integrating, perhaps working to death or not working out and exposing a death or a case that's closed or a rebirth. The hawk was sudden event of dreams and released by the main female, coming together perhaps with what's not working in order to release. The fifth section is the bear, the tiger, and the hummingbird. The bear mothering the tiger, with the hummingbird clearing the air. The bear in the family treehouse, with the Queen of Pentacles and empty family room. The tiger wounded warriors cutting ties, and the King of Pentacles with the privileged lady and the hummingbird loving lady with gifts, Cancer, or at night court in adjudication of home or union. And perhaps somebody's watching night court at home as well. The Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, with the loving lady or a Cancer person, and then the hummingbird clearing the way for the King of Pentacles to cut ties. The Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, and there can be someone with Cancer there as well. Any kind of Cancer energies are coming up there. Or it's just at night and the couple, the King and Queen of Pentacles here. And the swans coming up with the fox leaving the hen house and the power man angry. The swans in the fox transformation of a marriage with the power man suddenly explosive in a bad way. And the Queen of Wands reversed with the Empress upright, past or part of the community in energetic exchange with occupation, or occupied by the energetic exchange of the King of Wands, perhaps going to court or filing papers for the Queen of Cups, who is toiling and laboring. Or a sewing factory and labor laws or slave labor. And this could be somebody's doing legal filings for a business or something, for sewing, some kind of sewing factory or fabric. And then we have Sagittarius and Scorpio and Taurus, or two, could be two Tauruses there as well, with the Queen of Wands reversed, the King of Wands, the Empress, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Cups as well. So let's pull just a couple cards here. I'm going to pull the energy deck quickly for you guys. It's already at 1:33:13 with 4:10 on the clock, which is 0 behind the Ace of Cups. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. And here we go. From the energy deck. What is our takeaway for New Year's Eve, the last day of 2021? The contract. It's over because we're going into the 6th year. The balance of justice here. I'm getting the Constitution's coming up here as well. Oh, and they brought that up before too, that that they made the Constitution a contract at one point within the past so many years. I forget when they said it was. I forget who said it too. I don't know if that's maybe, I can't remember. But anyway, there's something about that coming up as well. right? That the Constitution was just our Constitution, and then it became contracted as a business. So then making the government actually a business and not a constitution. And that the Texas law is still under the Constitution. It's separate from the rest of the country. Something about that came up. If any of you guys know, you can comment below. Hold on, I want to just clear that picture up a little bit. So that's the first card out, is the contract here, right? And blind justice here. And the end of a family energy here. And also we have the 6 and the 4. So we're talking a lot about the 4 energy, and then going into the 6th year. And the rainbow bridge there. This is the end of a contract, the end of a family contract. And the 64 is the 10 of swords, which turns reversed and then becomes the bliss of the swords dropping out. So this is coming up. And then we have the 5th chakra of the throat chakra, Archangel Gabriel as well, with the 39 of the Knight of Cups, and just being love. Somebody's speaking up their truth. So this is the end of a contract, and this is like the masculine energy speaking their truth. Okay, which is really beautiful energy. The bottom of the deck is the 2nd chakra, Archangel Ariel, which again is the sacral chakra, which is about creativity and sexuality, but it's also coming up as the Atlas energy of the 36 with the weight of the world on their shoulders. And beneath it, the 7th chakra of the crown, Archangel Uriel. And these are coming up as, childlike energies who are not happy. Maybe they're not allowed to go out tonight, or because there's restrictions about going out. But this is the one of the Ace of Cups here. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. Crowning achievements. And there's the crown again. So the next card is all about the crown as well, right? The crown, the 28 of the twins and victory. But maybe not feeling like a victory, right? Because this could be the energy of the feminines here. Even though there's victory here, it may not feel like that, right? The crowning moment. Even though they become independent and they got their wings, or they've become one with their own creativity and their sexual nature, but still feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. But that was the underlying energy. And now is the end of the contract, of the family contract, and the masculine stepping up to speak their truth with the Knight of Cups there. So there is a change right here. And then we have the Journey of Love. I'm just going to pull a Journey of Love card because it's already really long. And it's 4:14 now on the clock, which is the Emperor and the Higher Love. And what does the Journey of Love have for us today? Take a deep breath. One more. For that Emperor. Okay, and that's coming out. All right, so the first card out is the Heart of God, the 9 of the Hermit. Is the green, I'm getting the green color, rush. This very much looks like the human heart, except for the green rushing in, that healing heart, the heart of God. And then we have the sweet soul rising of the 20 of judgment, of being sweet, especially with judging yourself, which has to do with the wake-up call as well as announcements. And I feel like she's flying into the heart. It's like when you just call out my name, and wherever I am, I'll come running. This is God talking to you. This is God coming running whenever you need them. And then she loves. And there's the 61 of taking a risk to love yourself first. When you need me, I'll come running. Don't think you have to do it alone. I am here in your healing heart. The 9 of the Hermit, the wake-up call, and the risk to love yourself first. And then we have the devotion to the small. Don't forget to focus on the small, the vulnerable, on the journey, to take care of the flowers and the children and the pets and the vulnerable parents, and just for a moment joy, to allow all of that light in. Just take that moment in tonight. The 46 of the innocent children playing and receiving all that is, just for a moment joy. And it's very much about the mother and child and the energies here. So it's just reminding the feminines to know your worth, and that if you need help, I'm here. Right? Don't judge yourself. and risk to love yourself. And that's the feminine within the masculine as well. And just take this moment to be fully joyful, fully present to the light. And the bottom of the deck is dream a little. Put the power here in your heart. The 51 of the King of Swords, being very pure and innocent and loving. And the burning hero as well, of the 3 of the Empress. Right? That's the energy of the earth and the mother. The burning hero. It's like the mother and the dream a little is coming up with the King of Swords here, which is also the masculine within the feminine. Being very reasonable and being in your heart mind, right? It's okay to use your mind, but just not ego away. You want your heart to be the last word because your mind can lie to you and your heart can't. It's very much of the masculine mother. This is the energy of like the masculine mother, and this feels like Christ, like being held by the mother's love while they were burning through this war within, and then coming out to the light of the King of Swords, more into his feminine here, putting the power in his heart. That's interesting the way that came up. All right, so let's read you the Heart of God and leave it at that with number 9. The end. The end is near. It's the end of 2021. The Heart of God. You are part of something profound, a divinely called, a divine calling and privilege. It's the role of the inspiratrix or inspirator on this earth, the women and men who have hearts capable of bliss. Bliss is what we feel when we let God in. The heart opens and we cannot speak for the sensation of it. It cannot be described. Great hearts can tolerate mystery. They can bear the enormity of divine bliss, beyond analysis and description, and simply be. Don't have to do anything with it, you see. To be the inspiration is to have a heart open to the divine. So that very feminine energy from the cards is expressing the feminine within both the masculine and the feminine. Your heart is an inspirational force to be loved. It's a life's calling. To be loved, recognized, and protected for the precious catalyst of divine awakening that it is. Be led by your heart. God is in it, speaking through it, calling you forth to love. And the love flows through your heart, filters out through your toes, dripping on those beneath you as stars falling from heaven. This oracle holds a message for you direct from the divine. You have a sacred purpose to fulfill upon this earth, and it's all sorted out. The situation, this issue, this awakening that you seek, and are living even now, is held lovingly in the hands of the divine creator. The creator says to you, leave it with me. It's all unfolding in perfection. I am alive in your heart. I am your heart. And the poem reads, when souls are touched with love sublime, and hearts unleashed, the wonder found, a promise made somewhere in time of words that speak without a sound. In gratitude we transcend space, and bless the gifts we now can keep, of thoughts caress and soft embrace, and eyes allowed in joy to weep. The moment's song that we compose will leave this life with no regret, and carry forth what we impose, to chart again a course once set. And you notice once and set were significant in my read as well. For what we have is ours to own, each breath a step we measure sweet. Together now we wait alone, and walk in peace, our hearts complete. And breathe. I'm not going to say anything about water or sleep, except you're going to really need it tonight with New Year's Eve, unless you're staying home. And make sure you get plenty of water and rest, and joy in nature. Make sure you connect with the earth, and smile. Do something fun and happy for yourself. And remember to breathe, and just be, and be love. Rise and be love, guys. Bye.